OR4ISS. I have you broken but readable. Welcome aboard the International Space Station, Malta. I read you better and better as we get closer and closer. I'm excited to answer some questions today. Over. Absolutely ready. Over. Hello, Daniel. Well, we have a variety of foods that are in bags, and we can warm those bags up. But we have everything from pasta. I'm about to have some pasta, which is probably familiar to you. That's going to be my lunch today after it is warmed up. But we get all kinds of meats and vegetables, but they're all in these bags, so they're not fresh. Every so often we can get some fresh food that comes up on a cargo vehicle, but it's only good for a couple days. And sometimes your family can send you snacks. So I've got some licorice that I love, and I love to eat some chocolate before I go to bed. Over. Hi, Giuliano. We sleep by putting a sleeping bag and tying it to the wall. And then you just get into the sleeping bag and you zip it up. And it is incredibly comfortable because you're not even laying on your back. There's no pressure on your body. And you just hang out there and your arms float and your head floats right where it wants to be. So it's really relaxing. The only problem is when you're working throughout the day, your body's in the exact same position. So you have to remember, this is not the time to be sleeping. This is the time to be working. Over. Hello, Mateo. Well, we don't get a ton of free time. We start our work days at 7:30 in the morning, and we go until 7:30 at night. And so by the time we have dinner and get all cleaned up, it's almost time for bed. But sometimes when we get a break, either during the day or on the weekend, we like to take advantage of looking out these incredible windows and seeing the beautiful planet below. This planet is so gorgeous, and it's just an amazing perspective from up here. When we're not doing that, we can watch movies sometimes. We do that as a crew, and we have an ability to call our family when we need to. Over. Mikhail, it usually takes at least 4 or 5 years of training at NASA before you're on a rocket headed to the space station or to a different mission. For me, I was actually training for 9 years, and it's not just because I'm slow. I was assigned to a different spacecraft that ended up not being able to launch on time, so I got moved over to a different spacecraft. But the training is pretty fun, but not quite as fun as being in space. Over. Hey, Benjamin. Well, we wear them for different reasons when we're doing different things. So, for example, a couple months ago when we went outside and did a spacewalk, we installed new solar arrays on the space station. And so we're wearing a spacesuit there because if we don't have one, we don't have any oxygen, and we are not maintaining pressure, and so the human body can't survive. So in that case, the spacesuit is really like a little spacecraft, and it's your space vehicle for getting around, and it's pretty amazing. But we also wear them in our spacecraft when we go up and down from the space station, and those we wear just in case something bad happens. And that spacesuit will keep us safe even if the space vehicle itself is not safe. But right now, I'm not wearing one. Over. Boy, I sure hope so, Nicholas, because I've been up here for 5 months, and I love it up here, but I also am anxious to get home. But the time limit tends to be based right now on how long our spacecraft is healthy. And we know that it's going to be healthy for a very, very long time, but we end up being very conservative and making a limit and saying, hey, let's come home way before we are at all wondering. for maybe no more than 7 or 8 months, but a person can stay up longer. Maybe they can come home on a different vehicle. Over. Hi, Alessandro. Well, I'll tell you what, we work out 2.5 hours a day. We do a bike, but it's not a real bike. It's a stationary bike that doesn't even have a seat or handlebars. We do this equivalent of lifting weights, so we work out our bodies very, very hard physically. But for mental stuff, I like to read electronic books. I like to talk to my family and friends on the phone when I can. And, again, watching movies is always super fun when you get to hang out with your crew. Over. Hey, Zach, I wouldn't say that it hurts. So when we accelerate off of the planet, we essentially go straight up and we work hard to get through the atmosphere, and then we tip over and start going fast so that we can go around at the planet and then get into orbit. And so every time we accelerate like that, there's pressure on our chest. And it kind of feels like, if you have a big brother or big sister, it feels like they're sitting on your chest. But it doesn't really hurt, and then as soon as you're into orbit, you're free-floating, and it's incredible. Over. Hi, Max. Well, when we come back, even though our muscles are strong and our bones are strong, we haven't felt gravity for a while, and so our inner ear, you kind of have a little bit of problem kind of maintaining the ability to stand up. So I'll be getting some help for sure when I get back, but it takes a little while to kind of get reacclimated to life on Earth. But that's probably the biggest thing. And then, I haven't seen the sun in a while, so I have to be careful there too. Over.